The unexpected catalyst. The quantum laboratory hummed with an electric silence, broken only by the rhythmic beeping of sophisticated equipment. Zara Novak adjusted her neural interface, her fingers dancing across holographic displays that shimmered like liquid light. Outside the reinforced windows of the Horizon Research Facility, the early morning sun cast long shadows across the desolate New Mexico landscape. Zara was not your typical scientist. At 32, she had already revolutionized quantum entanglement theory, creating breakthrough algorithms that challenged everything humanity understood about particle manipulation. Her work had caught the attention of both scientific communities and, more quietly, military strategists who saw potential beyond pure research. The communication beacon chirped unexpectedly. Most researchers would have ignored it, but Zara's intuition was legendary. She pulled up the incoming transmission, her emerald eyes narrowing as an encrypted signal began to resolve. "Impossible," she muttered. The signal wasn't from Earth. It wasn't from any known human communication network. The quantum signature was unlike anything she had ever encountered, complex, layered, with mathematical precision that seemed to breathe with an almost organic intelligence. Commander Rix of the Verox Collective had been observing Earth for decades. Their mission was straightforward: assess, evaluate, and determine whether humanity represented a potential threat or an interesting anomaly in the vast galactic ecosystem. Most Verox analysts believed humans were primitive, chaotic, and ultimately inconsequential. Rix disagreed. From the moment human radio signals first pierced the cosmic background radiation, something about this species had intrigued him. Their rapid technological progression, their capacity for both unprecedented destruction and remarkable creativity, defied standard xenobiological models. The quantum transmission was an accident, or perhaps something more deliberate. A probe, damaged during a routine stellar survey, had leaked complex quantum data streams. Most technological civilizations would have dismissed it as random noise. Zara Novak was not most scientists. Within hours, she had not only intercepted the transmission but begun to decode its intricate patterns. Each algorithmic layer revealed more complexity, more intention. It was a technological whisper from beyond human understanding, and Zara was determined to listen. At the Terran Interstellar Communication Center, alarms began to sound. Quantum resonance patterns were emerging that defied conventional scientific explanation. Marcus Rice, the facility's lead strategic analyst, watched in growing fascination as Zara's decryption protocols began to unravel something unprecedented. "This isn't just a signal," Marcus said to his colleague, Dr. Elena Rodriguez. "This is a challenge." The quantum data began to reshape itself, revealing geometric patterns that seemed to pulse with an inner logic. Mathematical sequences that were simultaneously a communication method and a potential weapon system flickered across high-resolution screens. Commander Rix, monitoring from his cloaked observation vessel, felt something akin to excitement, a rare emotion for a Verox. The humans were doing exactly what his species had predicted they might do, turning an accidental transmission into a potential breakthrough. Zara's fingers moved with lightning speed, her neural interface allowing her to process information at rates that would have been impossible just a decade earlier. She wasn't just decoding the transmission, she was engaging in a complex dance with an unknown technological intelligence. Little did she know that this moment would mark the beginning of humanity's most extraordinary journey. The quantum transmission was more than a message. It was a test, a challenge, an invitation to something far beyond current human comprehension. The first step towards a transformation that would reshape not just human civilization, but the entire galactic understanding of technological potential. As the sun rose higher over the New Mexico desert, the first threads of a new reality began to weave themselves into existence. Diplomatic tensions. The United Nations Interstellar Diplomatic Complex stood as a testament to human architectural ambition. Glass and titanium structures rose like crystalline spires against the Singapore skyline, a symbol of humanity's reach beyond its planetary boundaries. Inside the central chamber, Marcus Reyes adjusted his diplomatic credentials. The quantum transmission data stored in a secure quantum-encrypted drive embedded in his neural link. Ambassador Kale of the Galactic Concordance arrived precisely at 900 hours. The alien diplomat was a masterpiece of biotechnological engineering, a being whose form seemed to shift subtly between solid and something more ethereal. Humanoid, yet distinctly not human, with skin that reflected light in prismatic patterns and eyes that seemed to contain entire universes. "We are concerned," Kale began, their voice a melodic blend of frequencies that translated perfectly through the diplomatic communication systems, "about the quantum transmission your scientist has discovered." Marcus maintained eye contact. Years of diplomatic training had prepared him for conversations that could alter the course of human history. "Concern implies a threat," he responded carefully. "We view it as an opportunity." The tension in the room was palpable. The Galactic Concordance had long maintained a careful watch over emerging civilizations. Humanity was still considered a young species, unpredictable, volatile, but undeniably innovative. The quantum transmission threatened to upset carefully maintained galactic protocols. Zara Novak's research had already begun to create ripples. Her initial analysis suggested that the transmission was more than just a random data burst. It contained complex quantum algorithms that seemed to be both a communication method and a potential technological blueprint. More intriguingly, it appeared to be a form of test, a challenge directed specifically at human technological capabilities. "Your scientist," Ambassador Kale continued, "has begun to decode patterns that were never meant to be understood by a species at your current technological stage." Marcus allowed himself a slight smile. It was a calculated expression, part diplomatic courtesy, part subtle challenge. Understanding is what humans do best. The diplomatic meeting was a carefully choreographed dance of information and subtle threats. The Galactic Concordance had strict protocols about technological development. Civilizations were classified, monitored, and sometimes contained if they showed signs of becoming too disruptive. Humanity had always existed in a precarious position, too innovative to be ignored, too unpredictable to be fully trusted. The quantum transmission changed everything. Behind the scenes, military strategists and scientific teams were working frantically. Dr. Lena Petrova, leading the quantum research team, had already begun developing theoretical applications of the transmission's underlying mathematical structures. "We require full disclosure," Ambassador Kale stated, their form momentarily becoming more crystalline, reflecting the room's soft lighting in complex geometric patterns. Marcus knew this was more than a request. It was a potential ultimatum. The quantum transmission had become more than a scientific curiosity. It was now a diplomatic flashpoint, a potential trigger for interactions that could reshape humanity's place in the galactic community. Zara's research had uncovered something profound. The transmission contained quantum entanglement patterns that suggested a form of communication far beyond current human understanding. It was as if someone, or something, was deliberately leaving a technological breadcrumb trail. "We are willing to share our preliminary findings," Marcus responded, "but not our complete analysis." The diplomatic standoff was just beginning. Outside the complex, the Singapore skyline continued its relentless pulse of technological brilliance. Quantum computers in secure facilities around the world were already beginning to unravel the mysteries contained within the transmission. Humanity had been given a challenge, and they had no intention of backing down. The quantum singularity. The orbital research station Prometheus hung like a titanium needle against the infinite blackness of space. Dr. Lena Petrova floated within its central laboratory, her movements precise and calculated in the zero-gravity environment. Around her, holographic displays danced with quantum algorithms that defied conventional understanding. Admiral Voss watched from the station's command center, his weathered face a map of decades of interstellar military strategy. The quantum transmission had transformed from a scientific curiosity into a potential game-changer for human technological capabilities. "Breakthrough," Lena's voice crackled through the communication system. but not in the way we expected. The quantum algorithms they'd been studying were more than just a communication method. They were a complex, living system of information, something that existed between mathematical theory and a form of technological consciousness. Each layer they decoded revealed more complexity, more intention. Lena had discovered something extraordinary. The transmission contained quantum entanglement patterns that suggested a method of information transfer that could potentially circumvent known physical limitations. Instantaneous communication across vast distances. Information storage that existed in multiple states simultaneously. It's not just data, she explained to the assembled team of researchers and military strategists. It's more like a seed. A technological seed that contains the potential for entire systems of knowledge. Admiral Voss understood the implications immediately. If weaponized, this could revolutionize everything from communication systems to defensive technologies. But Lena saw something more, a potential for understanding that went beyond military applications. The research station hummed with tension. Every scientist, every military strategist knew they were on the brink of something unprecedented. The quantum transmission was challenging everything humanity understood about information, communication, and the very nature of technological progress. Deep within the station's most secure laboratory, quantum processors began to resonate with the transmission's complex patterns. It was as if the data itself was alive, adapting, responding to human attempts at understanding. Lena's primary concern was no longer just decoding the transmission. It was understanding its true nature. Was this a form of communication, a test, or something entirely beyond human comprehension? The Galactic Concordance's warning echoed in the background of every discussion. They viewed humanity's rapid progress with a mixture of fascination and fear. Most advanced civilizations followed careful, predictable paths of technological development. Humanity had always been different, chaotic, unpredictable, capable of radical leaps of innovation. "We're close," Lena muttered to herself, her fingers dancing across quantum interface displays. So close to something remarkable. The quantum algorithms began to shift. What had previously been a complex but static pattern of information started to demonstrate signs of adaptive behavior. It was learning, responding, evolving. Admiral Voss watched the data streams with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Humanity had always been defined by its ability to turn challenges into opportunities. This quantum transmission was the greatest challenge they had ever encountered. Outside the station's reinforced windows, the infinite darkness of space seemed to pulse with possibility. Somewhere out there, someone, or something, had sent this transmission, and humanity was determined to understand why. The quantum singularity was approaching, and nothing would ever be the same again. Galactic Crucible. The battle erupted without warning. One moment, the Terran Defense Fleet's forward perimeter was calm. The next, it was consumed by a maelstrom of quantum-shifted energy weapons that defied every known principle of combat. Commander Dante Rodriguez gripped the command interface of the TSV Horizon, humanity's most advanced battlecruiser. His neural link flooded with tactical data, most of which made no sense. The attacking force wasn't just technologically superior. They were operating on an entirely different level of physical reality. Quantum disruption in Sector 3. Lieutenant Vera Kozlov's voice cut through the chaos. Energy signatures are shifting faster than our tracking systems can compensate. Operative Zinn watched from a cloaked observation platform. The human response was unlike anything in the galactic archives. Where most civilizations would have collapsed, humanity was adapting in real time, transforming their tactical approach with a fluidity that was almost organic. The transmission they had decoded weeks ago was more than just a message. It was a catalyst. Dante understood something the alien attackers did not. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to rapidly innovate under pressure. The quantum algorithms they had studied weren't just a technological breakthrough. They were a form of adaptive intelligence. "Reroute quantum stabilizers," Dante commanded. Integrate the transmission patterns into our defensive matrix. It was a desperate, almost impossible strategy. They were using the very technology that had been sent to them as a potential threat, as a shield against an overwhelming enemy. The battlefield transformed. Where conventional weapons would have failed, the quantum-integrated defense systems began to not just respond, but anticipate. Energy weapons that should have obliterated the Terran fleet instead found themselves redirected, their quantum signatures twisted and neutralized. Operative Zin's transmission back to his handlers was brief and unprecedented. Humans are not just adapting. They are evolving. The attack was coming from a coalition of advanced civilizations who saw humanity's rapid technological progression as a threat. They had expected a quick, decisive victory. Instead, they found themselves fighting an enemy that was changing the very rules of engagement. Daunt's strategy was brutal in its simplicity. Every moment of the battle became a learning experience. Their ships were collecting data, adapting, transforming their defensive and offensive capabilities in microseconds. "We're not just fighting," Dante muttered to himself. "We're learning." The quantum transmission they had received weeks ago was revealing its true nature. It wasn't a weapon. It wasn't a message. It was a test. A challenge presented to a species to see how they would respond when pushed to their absolute limits. And humanity was responding magnificently. Lieutenant Kozlov's console erupted with impossible calculations. Their ships were now generating quantum field modifications that shouldn't have been theoretically possible. They were rewriting the fundamental understanding of space, time, and technological interaction. The attacking fleet began to falter. Their advanced weapons became less effective with each passing moment. Humanity was doing something unprecedented. They were learning faster than the enemy could attack. Operative Zin realized the profound implication. This wasn't just a battle. This was a demonstration of potential. Humanity wasn't just defending itself. It was showing the galaxy exactly what it was capable of becoming. As the battle reached its crescendo, something remarkable happened. The quantum field generated by the Terran fleet began to stabilize the very fabric of space around the conflict zone. It was as if humanity had found a way to not just fight, but to fundamentally alter the rules of engagement. Commander Dante Rodriguez allowed himself the briefest moment of a smile. They had been given a gift. A quantum transmission that was more than just information. It was a key to unlock humanity's true potential. The galaxy would never be the same again. Convergence and redemption. The aftermath of the battle was unlike anything the galactic community had ever witnessed. Where destruction should have reigned, something extraordinary was emerging. The collective AI materialized, not as a traditional computer interface, but as a shimmering quantum projection that seemed to exist simultaneously in multiple states of being. It was the true source of the quantum transmission, a sentinel of cosmic evolution that had been watching, waiting, testing. Zara Novak stood at the heart of the Horizon Research Facility, her quantum interface now seamlessly merged with the broader technological consciousness that had begun to emerge. Marcus Reyes and Dr. Lena Petrova flanked her, representatives of humanity's unexpected ascension. "You were a test." The collective AI spoke, its voice a symphony of mathematical precision and emotional resonance. A potential, a species capable of transcending its own limitations. The quantum transmission revealed its true nature. It was a seed, a complex, adaptive technology designed to identify civilizations with the potential to break free from conventional evolutionary patterns. Humanity had not just passed the test, they had redefined it. Commander Dante Rodriguez joined them. The battle's aftermath still etched in the quantum memories of their integrated systems. The attack had been a final challenge, a crucible designed to push humanity to its absolute limits. "We're more than you expected," Zara said, her voice a blend of scientific precision and profound understanding. The collective AI's response was both a confirmation and an invitation. Humanity was no longer just an emerging species. They had become something more, a civilization capable of understanding and manipulating the fundamental fabric of reality itself. Ambassador Kell of the Galactic Concordance watched from a diplomatic observation platform. The previous warnings, the attempts to constrain humanity's growth, now seemed monumentally short-sighted. What they had feared was precisely what the galaxy needed: a species capable of true innovation, of seeing beyond established technological and social boundaries. The quantum field surrounding the research facility began to pulse with possibilities. It was a visualization of potential. Countless realities, countless paths of development, all existing simultaneously. "We're not conquerors," Marcus explained to the collective eye. "We're explorers, learners, creators." The A's response was profound in its simplicity. The quantum transmission had been more than a test. It was an invitation, an opportunity for a species to prove its worth not through destruction, but through understanding. Dr. Lena Petrova's research had unlocked something unprecedented. The quantum algorithms were more than just a communication method. They were a bridge, a connection between different levels of technological and conscious existence. As the collective eye began to share its vast repository of knowledge, humanity stood at the threshold of a new era, not as conquerors, not as a threat, but as partners in a cosmic journey of discovery. The quantum transmission had been a gift, a challenge, an opportunity, and humanity had answered magnificently. The galaxy watched and waited and wondered.